Today we are going to create art inspired by sunflowers by Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was an impressionist artist, which means that his lines of his artwork are very bold and bright. A lot of artists recreated the sunflower painting because it is very popular even today. As you can see, Vincent van Gogh used a lot of yellows and blues, and his lines are very short and thick when he paints. He also created the famous Starry Night. I'm sure that this is a very popular image and you recognize it. Let's get started. Hello, amazing artists! Today we are going to be creating a still life inspired by Vincent van Gogh's sunflowers. We are going to be using our paint sticks today. If you are at home, you can use whatever you have at home, markers, crayons, colored pencils. If you happen to have paint sticks, now is your opportunity to use them. So we are going to start with a blank piece of paper. Please put your name and code on the back. And then you're going to flip it over. We are going to start with the black colored paint stick. And again, if you are at home, you're going to use whatever material that you have at home. I'm going to start by making the vase for the flower. And remember, I have to take off this cap here, put it somewhere safe, twist it if I need more. I'm going to start by making the vase. So I'm going to start at the bottom and I'm going to make a straight, a horizontal line. It's okay if it's not perfect. Then I'm going to make two curves that go up to make the vase. Starting at the bottom line, I'm going to go up and stop, and then go up and stop. It's okay if they're not perfect. Mine is not perfect. We are not using pencils. We're just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna leave that open for now. I'm also gonna draw the line for the table so I know where the table is, which is right in the middle here of our curved line. So one line on one side, one line on the other side. I'm also going to cut this vase in half with a curved line. So starting from one side to the other, a curved line. That makes it look like the vase is a curved form, not a flat form. It gives it the illusion that it is a vase. I'm going to close up my black and put it away. Give me a thumb up when you have these lines on your paper. Now I'm going to work on the flower. I'm going to need yellow, I'm going to need orange, and I'm going to need brown. These are the colors that Mr. Van Gogh used in his artwork. You could also incorporate some red if you want to. That's also another good color. These are the colors I'm going to use for the flower. But before I start with the flower, I need to make some stems for my flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make some look like they're floating in the air, because some flowers are going to be down here and then one flower is going to come down. So let's make a couple, like 1, 2, 3. They look like they're floating in the air. I know it looks weird. And then one is curving down. I can hold on to that green because I can also add some more lines later on. In the middle of my flower, there are brown. So I have some brown in the center of my flower. So what I'm going to do is I am going to make some circles where I know I want a flower to go. So I have about 3 here, and then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the stems of the flower. Maybe you want to add a couple more. That's where the center of my flower is going to be, because we know that sunflowers are brown in the center. close up your brown because you are done with the brown. Next, I'm going to get my orange. Open up your orange and give me a thumb up when you are ready. I will pause here for students that need extra time. Okay, now I'm going to make zigzags that go on the inside of the brown. I'm going to make zigzags that go all the way around, and it's starting to look like a flower now. Do zigzags on all of those brown circles. Really starting to look like a pretty flower now. And again, when you are done, close up the paint stick and put it away. Don't need orange anymore, or the brown. My very last color here is yellow. Open yellow up, twist the top of yellow. And now what we're going to do with yellow is we're going to do a zigzag that's on the outside of the orange that we just did. Going all the way around the orange. Zigzags all the way around. It doesn't have to look perfect. Flowers are organic. They are organic shapes and they are not perfect. Sometimes some flower petals fall down. Maybe you want to make some petals look like they're falling. You can do that too. Vincent van Gogh painted in what's called an Impressionist style, and it is very thick and bold lines. My flowers look really, really nice. If I wanted to, I could always go back with the brown and color on top of the brown circles again because I lost them a little bit when I went over them with the orange. And again, you have your red, so if you wanted to go make some red lines in there, you can make some little red lines if you want to get fancy. If you don't want to do the red lines, I understand. If you want to make some petals, you can make some petals for your flowers that are kind of sticking out over here. Maybe you want to make some extra petals that are coming out of the plant, out of the little planter, the vase. So I'm just going to make some lines that are all around my flower. I'm going to pause here for students that need to catch up. I also have some really cool other color green too. If you want to use both color greens, you can go on top of one green with another color. Sometimes the messier the lines for this project, the better it might look. Our last steps are we need to color inside the vase, we need to color the table and the background. So you decide what colors you want to use for that. You have some really fun colors like gold. Gold could be a nice color for the vase, so I'm going to color in the inside of my vase gold. And like I said before, Vincent van Gogh had a lot of really thick, bold lines, and you can add some lines on top of those lines, some nice fun zigzag lines there, maybe just some straight lines, and you can kind of mix the colors and see what happens inside of the vase. Really looks like that impressionist, thick, bold lines. Make sure you close up your marker, the paint sticks and markers if you're using markers that you're not using. So what next do we have to do? we have to do the table and the background. So for the table, I'm gonna look and see what colors I haven't used yet. I haven't used purple, I haven't used blue, and I think pink. You could use pink. So use the colors that you haven't used yet. And I noticed also I didn't color the top of my vase. You could leave that that color, or you could color it in. I'm just gonna color mine in red really quick. Okay. Like I said, you can leave that color if you want to. So now I'm going to color the table and I'm going to color the background. So using the colors I haven't used yet, I'm going to color that in. Now again, we talked about mixing our colors together, especially when it's still wet. So I do have pink, and I can see maybe what my pink and that purple mixed together look like. Maybe I want to also add some red in there, because red goes with pink and purple. And just making some thick, short lines. Looking really at how those paint sticks can be really fun and can kind of really mix together. Closing the ones that I am done with up. I'm going to pause here for the students to catch up. And it's very wet, so be careful touching your paper. So when I'm ready, I'm gonna flip this upside down because I don't want to get my hand with paint on it. And I'm going to color the background, but we're gonna color the background with some lines. So you can make some vertical lines going straight down, or straight up or straight down. Be very careful not to color on top of your flowers. We're just gonna kind of skip them. And we're gonna go around the flowers. So you can, all those straight lines are gonna go all around the flower. You can either leave your lines, the straight lines like that, or you can make some horizontal lines going across from each of the vertical lines to kind of make a nice little pattern for the background. Just be very careful not to go on top of your flower. I can even color the corners of all the paper, getting all that gray paper covered. And when I'm done, I can flip my picture around. My picture is coming out really nice. The only thing I'm missing is just maybe some more lines inside of the flowers in the middle. I can kind of be really careful and just fill in some lines and my signature. So at the bottom of your paper, you can sign your name like Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh signed his name on the pot, but it's too small. If you want to write your name there, that's fine. But I can sign my name at the bottom with the black so that it is official. It is a beautiful masterpiece. I absolutely love how this turned out. And when it is done, we're going to put it on the drying rack because I would like to hang it up in the hallway. They look awesome. You can either do another painting of the flower pot if you would like to, or you can work with the paint sticks when you are done. You could get a new piece of paper. I'm just going over some of the lines again because I lost them a little bit when I was coloring. And you can always do that with your black. Good job today. I love these flowers.